I'm sure you've had moments in your life when you remember something being a lot better than it actually is. This show is very much an instance of that happening. Also, as a heads up, there's a lot of nudity in this show, which is something I didn't remember before rewatching the show. The ecchi and harem aspects of the show make it less enjoyable, however, you might enjoy them. There's 12 episodes and the show was releasing from April 3rd, 2010 to June 19th, 2010. Let's get right into it with the story. Hold! Wait a minute! Okay, before continuing the video, consider subscribing. Only 10% of the people that watch our videos are subscribed, and if you like our videos, then why not? Yeah, I'll let you watch the rest of the video. Bye! The story is interesting with the ideas it has. However, there are many parts that feel extremely sped up. I very much believe a lot of the original material was skipped to finish the whole story in the anime. At first, we're introduced to the protagonist, Akuto Sai, in a weird way, as on his way to the new school he transferred into, he gets mistakenly attacked by a girl that thinks he's trying to steal from her grandma. But in reality, he's just trying to help with her luggage. By the way, she does this a lot. After her grandma explains the situation, we find out she's from a respected clan. They decided that they can get along as their views seem to align in regards to justice and as they're going to the same school. While she's trying to be an honorable warrior of justice, his goal is to become a grand priest. After they arrive in the school, Akuto Sai has to do a test that decides his future occupation. This test is done with the use of a magic crow that reads your future. This very much reminded me of the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter for some reason. As he touches the crow, it states that he'll be the future Demon King. This is literally the first 9 minutes of the show, and it relates back to how a lot of the show feels too fast. There are also a lot of sections that feel pointless. They neither build on the characters or the story, this being the ecchi parts of the show. I'll build on this when I talk about the action and animation a little more. Being critical of the show, the story is a 5 out of 10 for me. There was a possibility of creating something great here, however not enough effort was put into the pacing and storytelling. I also think that they could have made the world more digestible in the way it's built on. They give us little pieces of information about the world throughout the show, however this could have been done better. This is an all-harem show, so a lot of the characters feel like copy-paste from other shows. Junko Hattori is the tsundere, Kinasoga is the airhead and she's obsessed with the protagonist from the start, Fujiko Eto is the crazy one, and Korone is the emotionless one. With these simple descriptions, you get the idea of how little effort seems to be put into the characters in regards to their personality. Even when there are moments that feel as if they build on the characters, they come back to those simple descriptions. While Akito Sai is the one that wants to do the correct thing, he is always misunderstood. They also have to make him dense so he doesn't realize how the girls feel or what they want. There's more characters, however, this becomes more of a problem as there's only 12 episodes and this makes it hard to build their personalities to be interesting. There's a lot of bad and not a lot of good, leading to me giving the characters a 3.5 out of 10. If the show reduced the amount of random sexualization and made the characters more realistic, they would be a lot better. While the action has some rare good moments, a lot of them get spoiled by the random nudity. While the characters are fighting, the woman's clothing will start getting shredded off. Akito Sai, when powering up, loses his shirt and bulks up as well. I'm not against nudity in shows, however, the way it's used in this show feels super extreme. The actual fights in the show are a little like old Dragon Ball, but a lot worse. It's just a struggle of powers and simple attacks. Sometimes the powers used can be cool, but a lot of the time the action feels stale and boring. The abilities and powers aren't anything special either. This made me also give the action a 3.5 out of 10. There are definitely good parts, but most of the action is bad in my opinion. We also don't get a proper explanation of anyone's abilities, making it even harder to understand how the fights are going. It's just a mess in my opinion. The sound design is just bad, there's nothing that stands out in it. The music changes depending on the situation, and there are some simple sound effects placed over the abilities. This is the only good part of the sound design. The English voice actors feel emotionless a lot of the time, and the voice lines seem random at points. Let me give you an example.
That's not the point you should be distressed about.
Again, there's a lot of bad things about the sound design, especially if you watch the dub. I didn't watch a lot of the sub, however, it seemed to be a lot better. With this, I give the sound design a 3 out of 10. It's bad, but it could be worse, I'm sure. I kind of like the art style, and the animation actually has some good elements to it. However, there are random jumps in the quality of the animation. Sometimes it's good, and other times the whole fight scene seems to be skipped. Also, the amount of effort placed into different fights feels super irregular. However, at least compared to every other aspect, they seem to have at least tried a little, resulting in me giving the animation a 5 out of 10. I feel that there isn't much else to say about it. Unfortunately, there are a lot of weird elements to this show. I like the base idea, however I found the execution to be terrible. I only remember the good parts of the show from when I watched it for the first time, as the other elements are super forgettable. The show gets a 20 out of 50, which is one of the lowest, if not the lowest score I've given a show yet. This is why I like going back and rewatching shows that I remember as being good for these videos. I will either get a chance to change my view of a show and tell you why I think it's bad, or I will simply tell you why I think the show is good. Unfortunately, Demon King Daimon is kind of terrible in my opinion after rewatching it. I hope you enjoy my review of the show. If you have any other shows or topics that you'd like me to make a video about, mention them in the comments and I'll try to make a video about it as fast as possible. Either way, I hope you're having a wonderful day and I'll see you in the next video.